Somehow we are making it by 2:30 here. We are pretty much out of def. Our fuel's getting low, but I ain't worried about that. So we're real close to D rate here, but the dude said they leave at like 3 and 3:30. And I said I'll be there at 2:30. And he still made it sound like, oh, you know, maybe we won't even be here then. I have to get this off because I got to pick up my 60-foot beams after this. So we're risking her for the biscuit today, boys. I like to do that. Usually it doesn't work out, but we're getting her to work out, I think. As well, we got here to get some def. We made it. As you can see, we were so close, guys, to D-rate. I'm not sure exactly where this is. Kind of the outskirts of Columbus, Lockbourne. Good morning, you guys. Let's get some more light in here, maybe. Oh, there we go. So we loaded up our steel beams last night and went really well. Everything was a rush yesterday. So actually at that military base, well, listen to this microwave. It just sounds like it's radiating cancer into my brain. Yesterday at the military base, I told them I was gonna get there at 2:30 because I think that's kind of when everybody leaves. Well, I got there at 2:30. However, the person at the guard shack told me to go to a building, and then that guy told me to go to a different building, and I actually didn't see. It's like a little road that leads off to the, if you're coming back, it goes to the right by the lights. I thought I had to go through the lights to get to the road. Well, it turns out that the road was right before the lights. Well, I went up and there's like the main entrance guard shack, and then there's like a little guard shack. And I kind of stopped there and I was gonna ask like how to get to that road, and he told me, and I'm like, well, can I just turn around right here? And I'm thinking, you know, I got plenty of room to turn around. Well, he's like, yeah, if you can do it safely or whatever. So I go to flip around and not even close, guys. Not even close to being able to turn around that spot. I think if I would have had my axle slid together, I would have been able to whip it around, you know, like do a couple backups. But when they're spread apart, it's a whole different story. And I actually haven't had my axle spread in a minute, so I'm looking like Swift, you know, in this turnaround, and it's an entrance and exit, and I'm blocking both of them. And he comes out, and I'm like, give me a second, I'm gonna like slide my axles and I should be able to whip it around then. Well, I go to slide my axles and then they don't slide, okay? I'm just like skidding the tire. So I'm sweating, you know, and I'm just like, oh my God, are you serious? Like blocking the entrance and exit. And he pulls up the truck behind or on the exit side and turns his lights on to block traffic. I'm like, oh my God, you know, and this, every officer out watching me now, I'm sure just making fun of me, and you know, what's well deserved, right? I look ridiculous. So I end up just backing up and then going out the gate, and then it's this area, I mean, it's just little town roads, you know, so I'm sitting there like sweating, trying to figure out which road to go, and I go to take a left, and it's like a little alleyway, so I'm like, okay, well, that ain't gonna work. So then I wait for the light to basically turn red because I'm already in the middle of traffic, and then take a right. Fortunately, I was able to loop around, and basically that way it took me right back into the guard shack, and I went in there. By the time I get to the building, it's like 5 minutes after 3. Every single car that's in there is like leaving by then. I finally make it around. I'm going up and down this building trying to find somebody to unload me, and everybody's saying, go there, go there, go there, you know, you'll be lucky if you find anybody. And I got super, super lucky, you guys, I'm telling you. I ended up going to the door and ringing the bell, and a lady came to the door, and she's like, I don't know, I remember, she said something about like, what do you got to unload? And I just showed her the container right there, and she's like, oh. And she was like a lifesaver, you guys. I'm telling you, it was crazy. She just had the power to make things happen, apparently. So she went and called a manager, that the manager called somebody, and then anyways, long story short, we found a few people to come unload me in the yard, and we got it off. So that was a huge ordeal. I got super lucky. I really pushed my limits, to be honest with you, even taking that load, but sometimes you got to do that. But anyways, we got some cream of wheat here that we're trying to cook up. I have to rip the cup because it doesn't fit otherwise. I've tried to search for bowls in like the gas stations. So weird, dude. Like, you'd think they would have paper bowls. We're sitting here at the brake check on 64 headed towards Virginia. We're in West Virginia right now. So I'm gonna hop out. I have been seeing in my mirror a couple of my chains are flopping around a little bit. Not sure what's going on over there. Trooper's got some people pulled over. Yeah, he's got to get tightened down. See? Loosen up on you, man. Not good. I'm gonna go around and get everything. Oh man, look, these things stayed on here. I'm surprised. I did not know how to bungee these on, so I thought for sure like the wind would push them off here, but it's not. So big bonus there. I'm gonna run around and get these tightened up. So as I was walking around here, I didn't even realize it until I got over to this side, but this board is loose. This chain, when it loosened up, there's actually a space in here, quite a bit bigger if the chain gets loose. This board moves around, so just bungee it on here. Should hold it down. There. Yeah, that'll be good. So we got them all tightened up. Should be wearing gloves doing this stuff, but I always get in a hurry and don't. So no reason to be in a hurry, but I don't know. So yeah, if you're hauling steel, make sure you check your chains, because that's how stuff starts going through back of cabs. We made it. Got the old 60 footers here. Gonna get her unchained and get it unloaded. So I got some kind of bad news this morning, and man, it kind of really put me in a down mood. I've been dealing with a broker not paying. It's almost 100 days over, or 100 days on an invoice, and 70 or 90 days on another one, somewhere in there. It's a big chunk of money that he owes me, and just looked at the notes with my factoring company, and he actually said that he's gonna go out of business. So yeah, now I got to deal with that. Good chance me not getting any of that money. So that sucks pretty bad. Really wasn't expecting that. It's kind of my first time I've ever had something like this happen, so it's a blow. But anyways, we're gonna get this thing unstrapped here, or unchained, get it unloaded, and then I booked another load, same one, for tomorrow. So I'm gonna go pick up another one of these and bring it back here, and I might try to do something local here today, just to kind of fill in the gap. I've got some time left on my clock in order to do that, so we'll see how the day goes. But I am feeling a little tired and a little wore out and pretty disappointed, to be honest. So anyways, let's get it unchained and get it off. Well, we just stopped at the pilot here off of 95. We're headed back on to 95 now. I was thirsty AF. I pulled off on the side of the road there once I got unloaded, and I actually had Uber eated some Chipotle. So I ate that and then passed out hardcore. But before that, I did end up booking a load here out of Somerset, Virginia. The address looks like the actual town is like Gordonville, Virginia. We're gonna be grabbing some railroad ties in the morning, and those will be heading to, I forgot the town. It is going to West Virginia to a Tractor Supply, which isn't very far away from where I'm going to be picking up my steel beams again tomorrow. So I wasn't having too much luck because everything that I was trying to pick up today was like done loading at 4 o'clock, and it was all like over an hour away or even an hour away, which would have put me right close to 4 o'clock or late. So I just found this one. I said I'll pick it up in the morning. It's only a 5-hour drive. It'll give me plenty time to get over to them steel beams by the evening and get those picked up so I can go deliver those on Friday. So here we are, boys. Next day. Found the railroad tie loading spot here. I kind of drove by because they give you the address for the post office. I was like, oh shoot, I don't know where the heck I'm gonna park, but ended up parking right there, backing in, and only a couple trains went by last night, so it wasn't too bad. But this guy got here early, which is also nice. I told him I'd be here by 8 a.m. and he's here at like 7:30, so works out sweet. We're gonna get this loaded up and then head over to West Virginia and then get this unloaded and then go load those steel beams right after that. So probably be pretty close to out of hours by then. I might make it a little ways with the steel beams depending on how long they take, but we will see how it goes. We are getting off here on exit 205. I was gonna go over to the Pilot, but the Petro over here looks bigger. I mainly want to hit a scale. Guy said it's gonna be light, but it feels heavy. So we will see what it actually weighs in at. And I am thirsty for a coffee. So we'll get a coffee and grab something to eat. Just the normal stuff. Been raining out a little bit, but not bad enough that everybody's slamming on their brakes and running their flashers and this and that. So oh, let's see. I see the cat scale over there. Mall parking. I think I'm gonna grab some Subway. Sounds yummy. I think I'm gonna be delivering this about 3 o'clock. Might be a little after 3.
Turn right on Rapping Road.
It says 8 to 4 for delivery, but it's Tractor Supply. They're open till like 8 p.m. So I don't really see why it would be only till 4 o'clock unless that's the only time somebody with a forklift is there. Let's see what this thing weighs in at. Here we go. So we're actually not bad at all. We can be 40,000 on the rear because I got them spread. So that works out. This is actually a really big Petro. Looks like there's a whole shopping center, mall or whatever. So that's kind of cool. But I'm actually just gonna run in and get something to eat, grab a snack, grab a coffee, and head back out. We are on some West Virginia back roads today, boy. Holy smokes. There was a 180-minute delay if I would have stayed on 64 because it says somebody crashed and they had the lanes closed. So this is the way the old Garmin is taking me here. There was a state trooper sitting right on the exit that I got off on to take this way, and he didn't come chase me down, so it must mean something, right? He'll know who it is when he gets the call, because I'm stuck on some road I shouldn't have went on. Call me Swift. West Virginia and Virginia back roads, man. I don't know if this is necessarily a back road, but I don't know. It's not really the interstate, so I would consider it a back road or a highway. Beautiful through here, but man, they're goat trails, like wide enough for your truck to fit through. And sometimes you come up on these corners, like you gotta wait for the car to go by just so you can get your trailer around the corner without sliding off down into the river. Keeps you on your toes. So we got unloaded here. As you guys saw earlier, I had to take a little detour, which ended up working out just fine. So there's all our railroad ties stacked up there, and we got an empty trailer. What I realized is I have yet to show you guys, oh, let's just go up the steps, the holes in my deck here. So you can see right here, this is a almost puncture. Pretty much there's a little hole right there. Another spot where it was sitting right there. Where the heck was that? Oh, back here. So as you can see here, it pushed all the way through the piece. So that's that. I don't remember. I just kind of pushed it in a little bit, but yeah, so that was disappointing to say the least, but it's not a huge deal. Things happen, and it is what it is. So we're gonna head over to New Boston, Ohio right now and get this load of steel. And by then I think I'll have maybe a couple hours left on the clock, so I might drive that so I don't have to use up the whole 7 hours tomorrow to get there. That way I'll have more time to get a load for the weekend, which it's not looking too hot, so we'll see how it goes. But for now, we are gonna go get loaded up.